The Elder Scrolls Online developers gave us a bit more info during the season's direct about solo dungeons. Group dungeons aren't going anywhere, trials aren't going anywhere, but the dev team is making room for players who want to experience dungeon stories at their own pace. So let's break down what solo dungeons are, how they work, and when they will be arriving inside of the Elder Scrolls Online. So we all know that Season 0 has started, and they said this is kind of the soft launch for ESO's new content structure. But when this whole season idea was announced at the beginning of the year, one thing that caught people's eye on kind of the layout of this year's content was solo dungeons starting in Season 1. This isn't just run a dungeon alone like you can right now in game. We know that majority of dungeons inside of ESO can be ran solo, but these are going to be reimagined and rebuilt versions of existing dungeons tuned specifically for solo players or players running with companions. So the devs describe this as a version of those previously released dungeons reimagined. The first two that we will get will be Moon Hunter Keep and March of Sacrifices. They said both of these are fan favorites, but these are also dungeons that can feel chaotic or rushed when running with random players. They said they want players to be able to experience the story without the rushed pace of group play. Now, these are the only two that we know about right now. I'm hoping that they're going to get these solo dungeons out pretty quickly so we have several to choose from. Maybe by the year's end. We don't know exactly how many they're planning on doing in total or anything like that just yet. I'm sure we'll get some more information on that in the future. But solo dungeons will let you slow down that pace, explore, listen to dialogue, and actually enjoy the narrative without someone, of course, sprinting ahead and pulling the entire room. They said it's not going to be just story mode. You will have your base kind of overland difficulty standard mode for that just kind of story focused run, but they're also looking to add in opt-in challenge mechanics at the entrance of the dungeon if you want it to be a bit more difficult. So there's going to be something here for everyone, the casual explorers or someone that wants a bit of a challenge in a solo run. When it comes to rewards, they said they wanted to keep them separate. They don't want you to be able to go in and get the exact same things that you could in a group dungeon, but they also want the solo experience to have some great rewards. So there's going to be new monster masks, unique cosmetics, and solo specific completion rewards for those solo runs. So this is a big thing because I think a lot of people may not have liked this idea as much if it was the exact same rewards, and the devs have said that they want to keep that group and solo experience separate. They still want each experience to be unique to itself. So if someone that loves to collect skins, hats, dies, or titles, you're going to have to, go in and maybe play some of these solo. If you want some of the other stuff that comes from the group dungeon, you'll have the option to go in and play the dungeon as a group. So this is going to be a really good way to collect a lot of different things from these dungeons. And a lot of MMOs or RPGs pretty much nowadays go with a more hybrid style system to where it's not just tied to people having to find groups and just do dungeons and trials. A lot of games are trying to make the experiences solo friendly as well, and that's exactly what ZOS is doing here with the new edition of these dungeons. So solo dungeons will solve a lot of that. They're going to let you experience the dungeon story at your own pace, practice mechanics without any pressure, explore redesigned encounters built for one player, and earn meaningful rewards without needing a full group. Also, you're going to be able to take your companion in, and they will actually matter. So there's going to be different ways, of course, that you could build your companion to be a tank, to be a healer, or a DPS to help you out along the way. And for players that want this to be a bit more difficult, there will be those opt-in challenge mechanics, meaning you can push yourself without relying on other people to execute everything within that dungeon perfectly. This is ESO becoming more accessible to solo players without really changing anything else for group players as well. Season 0, of course, was a big step in a different direction for the Elder Scrolls Online. And Season 1 looks like things are going to get even better for the game. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about this new solo dungeon idea. like I said at the start, you can always go in and play a lot of the dungeons in game solo, but having a actual dungeon experience built for solo encounters is a bit different than what we already have. So that is everything we know so far about solo dungeons. I'm sure we're going to get some more info about this at some point when it gets closer to launch time in season 1. Like I said, I hope we get a lot of options here and they start adding these in fairly quickly. So if you are a solo player, you'll have a lot of different dungeons that you can go in and try out on your own. But leave me a comment with your thoughts, and of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.